There are many unique cursed spirits in the Jujutsu Kaisen universe, but only a few can be classified as special grade due to their overpowered abilities. So in today's video, we will be explaining all 13 special grade curses in Jujutsu Kaisen, starting with Ganesha. Ganesha is a special grade Asian divine curse, controlled by Kenjaku. It was first seen during Kenjaku's fight with Yuki Tsukumo at the Tombs of the Star Corridor. While not much of its abilities were shown, Ganesha's curse technique, according to Kenjaku, can remove all obstacles by entangling a concept with its target. This power was used to eliminate military personnel by transporting them into the sky outside the White House, killing them in the process. However, Ganesha's technique was easily overwhelmed by Yuki's immense star rage, allowing Yuki to exercise it. Next is Kuchisake Onna. Kuchisake Onna is an imaginary, vengeful cursed spirit that was firstly introduced by Suguru Geto in Hidden Inventory arc. Unlike most cursed spirits, Kuchisake could actually communicate, making her one of Geto's strongest curses. She was also capable of creating a simple domain that enforced a binding vow of non-violence, until her question was answered. Once answered, Kuchisake would attack with her signature scissors, summoning numerous shears around her target. Though this domain could be deadly, it can easily be overcome by elite sorcerers, as shown when Toji effortlessly destroyed it. Overall, Kuchisake is a powerful cursed spirit, but the remaining 11 special grades on this list are on a whole different level. Take, for example, the Finger Bearers. Finger Bearers are special grade cursed spirits that form when a cursed spirit consumes one of Sukuna's fingers. They were first introduced in the Fearsome Womb arc and later made an appearance in the Death Painting arc. These beings develop as cursed wombs before fully emerging, even before their birth. They are still classified as special grade and are visible to non-sorcerers. Upon birth, they expand an innate domain infused with cursed energy, distorting the dimensions of their surroundings. Though this domain functions similarly to a domain expansion, it remains incomplete due to the lack of a cursed technique. Despite this, Finger Bearers are incredibly powerful. Thanks to Sukuna's influence, they are able to wield vast amounts of cursed energy, which they can unleash in destructive blasts or use to form barriers. They also express a cruel intelligence, often toying with their opponents in a manner similar to Sukuna himself. However, despite their immense strength and control over their environment, they lack understanding on how cursed energy really works, making them a mere cheap copy of Sukuna's full power. Moving on to the Smallpox Deity. The Smallpox Deity is a special grade disease cursed spirit that was summoned by Kenjaku during the Shibuya arc. Despite its inability to speak, it's far from weak, as it wields both a curse technique and a domain expansion, something even most elite sorcerers lack. As one of only 16 registered special grade cursed spirits, the Smallpox Deity possesses immense power. Its curse technique allows it to trap its target inside a cramped coffin. Once the target is caught, the curse lowers its left fist into its right hand, summoning a massive gravestone that slams down on the coffin, inflicting heavy damage and burying the target underground. A countdown from 3 begins, and if it reaches 1, the target is immediately infected with smallpox and dies instantly, which is just insane. However, its domain takes it even further. The Smallpox Deity's domain is called the Graveyard Domain. This domain allows the curse to instantly trap its opponents in a graveyard setting. Once trapped, the sure hit effect of the domain amplifies its curse technique, guaranteeing death once the conditions are fulfilled. Though these abilities are incredibly powerful, the Smallpox Deity itself is really dumb, making it very easy to defeat despite its overpowered abilities. But let's move from a dumb cursed spirit to a much creepier one. Meet Kurourushi. Kurourushi is a special grade cockroach cursed spirit that is born from humans' fear of cockroaches. I mean, who isn't? Anyway, Kurourushi was first introduced during the Culling Games arc by Kenjaku. He's a really powerful cursed spirit who is capable of holding its own against powerful sorcerers like Yuta and Takako. Thanks to his immense amount of cursed energy, he is able to command man-eating cockroaches that can strip flesh in seconds. They feed on their targets with an endless appetite, stimulating a process called parthenogenesis. This process then allows Kurourushi to reproduce both cockroaches and cursed spirit offspring. This leads to some deadly attacks. When armed with his cursed technique, Earthen Insect Trance, he can create flying insects that impair his target's vision, leading to some insane combos. That's not all, because he also possesses the Festering Life Sword. This cursed tool allows Kurourushi to send a barrage of cursed insects' eggs inside the target's body, which eventually hatch, causing severe damage, which is just brutal. But even more brutal special grade cursed spirits would be Eso and Kechizu. Eso and Kechizu are death painting wombs. They aren't exactly classified as special grade cursed spirits. They do possess abilities that rival that level of power. Both Eso and Kechizu possess a technique called Decay. This technique allows them to infuse their blood into their target's body through mucous membranes or wounds. Once Decay activates, the blood poisons and decomposes the target's body, forming a floral pattern. This process typically kills within 10 to 15 minutes, leaving only bones behind. However, Eso, being the strongest out of the two brothers, can shorten the process by using a binding vow. In addition to decay, Eso has two more insane abilities. First is his rot technique, which grants him corrosive blood, which he can manipulate and reshape at will. This blood can poison and dissolve his targets on contact. Second ability, Wing King, allows him to create wasp-shaped wings from his blood. This will enhance mobility and enable him to launch long-range attacks, thereby making him even more deadly. Speaking of deadly, let's dive into the powerhouse that is Choso, the eldest death-painting womb. Unlike his younger brothers, Choso's control over blood manipulation is on another level. Thanks to his immense cursed energy, he can unleash devastating attacks like piercing blood, a blistering fast beam of blood which was stated in the manga to move faster than the speed of sound. But that's not the tip of the iceberg, because Choso has other insane abilities, like slicing exorcism, where he sharpens his blood to slice through enemies, and supernova, which sends blood bullets in every direction. He is also capable of creating simple domains, which he can use to resist the effects of his opponent's domain, like he did against Sukuna's malevolent shrine, which is super impressive, but not as impressive as Naoya's cursed spirit form. Naoya is the youngest son of Naobito Zenin, and during his battle against Maki, Naoya takes things to a new level by transforming into a cursed womb. Crazy, I know. However, this transformation significantly enhances all his physical abilities, enabling him to travel at 3 times the speed of sound. But what makes this version of Naoya truly deadly is his cursed technique, projection sorcery. This technique lets Naoya break a second into 24 frames, turning his field of view into a perfectly timed battlefield. Anyone he touches has to follow his 24 FPS rule. If not, they get frozen for 1 second, stuck like a glitch in time. But that's not all, because in his cursed womb form, Naoya can also create a domain expansion called the Time Cell Moon Palace. This domain amplifies the precision of his cursed technique by targeting individual cells. Freezing these cells disrupts their function, allowing Naoya to control his opponent's movements at a cellular level, making his attacks devastatingly accurate. Next special grade on the list is Hanami. But before we get to Hanami, if you're having a great time so far and want to be entered in our video shadow giveaway, simply subscribe, then comment I subbed, and you'll be entered. This shadow giveaway goes to @Ognian Nikolov 7025. Thanks for being part of the family. Let's get back to Kenjaku's allies. Hanami, one of Kenjaku's allies, possesses massive curse energy and uses it to bring cursed plants to life with its technique, disaster plants. These plants aren't just illusions, they're real. Created and controlled through cursed energy, Hanami can make them appear and vanish in an instant, striking hard and fast. Hanami can also use domain amplification, a shield that covers the body and cancels out any cursed techniques it touches. The downside, however, is that the user can't use their own abilities while it's active. Hanami also had a domain called Shining Sea of Growing Branches, though we never got to see it in action. And speaking of Hanami, let's quickly talk about Dagon. Dagon is one of Kenjaku's most formidable allies, who wields an extraordinary amount of cursed energy. His cursed technique, Disaster Tides, allows him to summon massive waves purely from his cursed energy. No water source needed, which is just insane. But Dagon doesn't stop there. He can also create swarms of deadly Shikigami that can tear his opponents to pieces within seconds. When combined with his domain, Horizon of the Captivating Skanda, these Shikigami become nearly unstoppable, guaranteed to hit their target before they even realize what's happening, making him a very powerful special grade. But an even more powerful special grade would be Jogo. Jogo is by far the strongest special grade in Kenjaku's group and was stated to be as powerful as a 10-finger Sukuna. His cursed technique, Disaster Flames, allows him to produce intense cursed flames. He can shoot heat rays from his palms to create volcanic eruptions from the environment, making his attacks both unpredictable and devastating. He also possesses domain amplification, which allows him to neutralize his opponent's cursed techniques. His domain expansion, Coffin of the Iron Mountain, creates the inside of a blazing volcano, where anything within would burn instantly, making him a very powerful cursed spirit. Too bad he got violated by Gojo and Sukuna. Now, before we cover the strongest special grade in the entire Jujutsu Kaisen universe, let's quickly talk about Mahito. Mahito is a very powerful special grade spirit, which is all thanks to his cursed technique, Idol Transfiguration. This technique allows him to reshape souls and disfigure the bodies of his victims at will. He can also heal himself, transform his limbs into deadly weapons, and even create a clone capable of transforming itself, which makes him even more terrifying in his current ability, a barrier that can trap anyone inside or keep others out, making escape nearly impossible. But the pinnacle of his power lies in his domain expansion, self-embodiment of perfection, where he's able to connect directly to the souls of anyone inside, allowing him to manipulate them instantly and reshape their very essence, making him a really powerful cursed spirit, but not as powerful as Rika. Rika is regarded as the queen of curses, thanks to her endless pool of cursed energy, making her nearly impossible to exercise. While fully manifested, she not only fights alongside Yuta, but also stores an infinite number of weapons. She can also copy cursed techniques, allowing Yuta to use abilities far beyond his own experience. Her power reaches its peak with a pure love cursed energy beam, a devastating blast, strong enough to overpower Geto's maximum Uzumaki with relative ease, making her an extremely powerful cursed spirit. Now those are some insanely powerful cursed spirits, but if you want to see something even crazier, check out this video where we break down 13 powerful cursed techniques that can bypass Gojo's infinity. Go on, click it!